Hey everyone, Effie here. Today I'm going to create a card using our Winter Chickadee stamp set. It's a 6x8 photopolymer set. You have 3 layers for the body, 2 layers for the branches, and then 2 layers for the berries. You have 1 layer for the chickadee's feet, and then this stamp will be stamped right inside here for a little bit of warmth inside the body. And then there are 2 sentiment stamps as well, sending warm winter wishes this season and happy winter. There are also 2 coordinating dies available separately for this set. So to help us align our stamps, we're going to stamp all the stamps on the pre-cut die cuts. So I'm going to go ahead and die cut the chickadee and the branches onto white cardstock. And then to do all my stamping, I'm going to use my Misty and our 6x7 inch grit mat, which I placed inside the Misty. And then I placed the chickadee die cut on the grit mat, and then I positioned the top stamp that you see in the 6x8 set, and I'm going to line up the beak portion of the stamp to the die cut and stamp this in our Caviar hybrid ink. Then this middle stamp is the mid-tone stamp, and we will be using our Smoky Quartz die ink. I just lined up the beak and the chickadee tail for this layer. After I inked it up, I'm going to close the door of the Misty and stamp this in our Smoky Quartz. Then for the last full body layer, I'm going to line up the tail and the chest of the chickadee, and this layer is going to be stamped using our crystal pewter dye ink, which is a nice light gray ink. Then I'm going to take the chickadee feet stamp, and this will be stamped again in our Caviar hybrid ink. It's a black ink. What's great about our Caviar hybrid ink is that it cleans off the stamp really well and it doesn't really stain the stamp. So this stamp will be stamped in our vanilla frosted cupcake ink, and here he is all stamped out. Isn't he adorable? This is one of my favorite stamps in our collection because there's so much detail and he's just really cute. So I placed my berry branch die cut inside my Misty for the first berry layer. I used our soft Garnet ink. Then I lined up the second berry layer and then inked this stamp up with our red Sangria ink. Then I aligned the first layer of the branch stamp inside the die cut. I used our warm hazelnut dye ink for this first layer. Then for the second branch layer, I'll use our found Topaz dye ink, which is a deeper brown ink. The branches are really easy to align. Just make sure you clean off all of your layering stamps after you use them because you don't want them to stain too much. Next, I use our 7x9 inch grip mat. I placed an A2 white panel onto the grip mat, and then our new stripe stencil over the panel and blended our soft cream dye ink to create this beautiful striped background. Next, I took the second largest die from our double pierced nested dies and the second largest die in our double pierced Ornate nested die. I centered both dies on an A2 card panel, and then I ran this through my die cutting machine, and then I'm just going to use that inner piece that you see right here. I love the look of piercing because it just looks a little bit different from the stitching. So next I trimmed my striped panel down, and then I adhered this onto an A2 card panel. Next I'm going to trim an A2 card panel to a smaller size panel that's going to be backed behind my ornate windowed die cut. So I'm just going to trim that down after I measured that rear panel, and on that background panel I just traced an outline of my ornate window because I'm going to do some ink blending, and I'm using our bright emerald ink first, and I just want the bright emerald to come up about 2/3 of the way up that window. Once I'm done blending the base layer of my bright emerald, I want to blend some hot tourmaline ink, which is a darker teal ink, and I'm just going to add a little bit of that darker teal towards the bottom portion of that window. Then I tuck the branch back through the window and in and out through the front, and then I glued that down, and then I'm going to pop up this panel onto the blended panel. Then this is going to get glued down on my striped panel. Next I'm going to pop up our chickadee right onto our base, add our Merry Christmas sentiment, and then some of our Iridescent Dew Drops to complete my card. And I absolutely love how this card turned out. I loved the soft cream stripe background against the entire design. So if you haven't done so already, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'll be updating it more regularly. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.